Happy Monday, everybody. I am AnnaLee Dragon, the director of the Kinderhook Memorial Library, and you are joining me for another Monday book talk. Starting this month, just so you're all aware, which is October now, unbelievably, I'm going to move to doing these every other Monday. So they won't be 4 times a month or 5 times a month. They will be a couple times a month. So starting today, every other Monday, there will be a new talk listed. I apologize, but it is getting very difficult to find the time. We are getting busier and busier again, which I'm loving. And all of you are coming in to see us, which is fantastic. So I'm having a hard time keeping up making videos, and I don't want to disappoint anyone. So we're going to set expectations. So every other Monday, there will be a new video, and I will discuss a new topic. And so this week, I decided we would talk modern love, modern romances. I am not generally a romance reader. However, in the last few years, I have started reading some, mostly because they are lighthearted, they are feel-good stories the majority of the time, they have happy endings, and don't we all need some happy endings and some happiness in general in our lives these days, in these tough years that we've had? So I'm just finding they feed my soul a little, lift my spirit, make me laugh. They're relatable, and they're not necessarily the bodice rippers of the past. Now, that does not mean that they don't get pretty sexy at some points, especially some of the newer ones. However, it's a very modern, fresh take on a lot of these things, which people my age and obviously younger than me might find a little more relatable, but I also think people of all ages would enjoy them. So I have 5 or 6 books here that we're going to talk about. I have covered a few of these in like unboxing videos, but I thought I would bring them together for you if you are interested in love and romance stories, and maybe this would be a place for you to find some new reads. So I'm going to put up a cover, and then we'll talk about the book. And then at the end, I will put all the covers again so you can get busy requesting some books for your fall reading. Okay, let's get started. So Evie Drake's Starts Over is the first book. It is by Linda Holmes. And I'm starting kind of older to newer. So this one I talked about at an in-person book talk a long time ago, but I haven't talked, I don't think, online about it. So it is a very sweet story. This is not one that gets too overly salacious, if that's not your thing. This is more a love and romance kind of story, and it's a rom-com kind of feel. So Evie Drake is a woman who's lost her husband, and she is now a widow. No, I'm sorry. She lost her husband, but I think they just got divorced. Oh no, she's widowed. I was correct. I read it so long ago, I don't remember. So the author is the host of NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour podcast. So if you've ever listened to that, this is her first book. And it is a work of fiction, and it's about a woman who's lost her husband and a major league pitcher who's lost his game. So he is in the Major League Baseball, and he is all of a sudden having a lot of trouble. Like, he's lost his pitch. And so he goes to this small town where Evie happens to live, and it starts as a friendship and turns into a romance, but it's just a really likable book. The characters are super likable. It's very easy reading, has good feel-good moments, and it's gently romantic is the way they phrase it, which means, like I said, not too salacious, not too much sex, more romance than anything. And the characters are just people that you feel like you'd like to know, I think. And it has a real world vibe to it. So if you're looking for something a little, maybe not hot, but romantic, I think Evie Drake Starts Over is an excellent book. I really enjoyed it when I did read it, even though I have apparently forgotten. So maybe it's time to reread it. Okay, next book. This book I have not read yet, but has been in our collection since mid-last year, mid-2020. It is called The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan, and it says it's a strong female friendships and a great love story. So people called it smart and funny, so they couldn't put it down. The tagline is, "Why play by love's rules when you can make your own?" So Samaya Brooks never thought she would be that girl, but a live tweet of a horrific date just revealed the painful truth. She's been catfished by a 3-timing jerk of a boyfriend. Suddenly, Samaya, along with his 2 other girlfriends, London and Taylor, have gone viral online. Now the 3 new besties are making a pact to spend the next 6 months investing in themselves. No men and no dating. For once, Samaya is putting herself first, and that includes finally developing the app she's dreamed of creating. which is the exact moment she meets the deliciously sexy Daniel Collins at work. What are the chances? But is Daniel really boyfriend material, or is he maybe just a little too good to be true? So I think this book is great for anybody who has done online dating or heard about it and doesn't really understand it, because it's a tough world out there. So I love that modern take on it. I also love the hark back to the classic theme though, right? Which is you only find it when you stop looking. And so she's gone on this kind of dating cleanse, and then that's when she meets the perfect guy. And I do think that sayings like that or feelings like that come from someplace. Tropes come from somewhere, in truth. And I think a lot of times when you're so hyper-focused on it, it can be hard to see what's in front of you. And when you start working on yourself and on other things in your life, that's when things naturally progress. So if you are looking for a fun, smart book about dating in modern times, The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan. Okay, next book. So this book I know I have mentioned in a book talk recently in an unboxing, but I wanted to go back to it because I feel like it fits so well with our theme of modern love and romance. It's called One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And she wrote the book Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is another one that would fit perfectly in this genre if you are interested. And that one's a few years old, and I read it and adored it. I have not gotten to read this one yet, but I am super excited to because I've just heard wonderful things and I enjoyed her first book so much. So it says that for cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right, that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist. And the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. And there's certainly no chance of her subway commute being anything more than a daily trudge through boredom and electrical failures. But then there's this gorgeous girl on the train. Jane, who is dazzling, charming, mysterious. Jane with her rough edges and swoopy hair and soft smile. And so August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day. So this is like, again, unexpected love, right? Like this person is cynical and she's not looking for anything, but then it just kind of happens because that's how life works. So this one looks just super fun, and they called it dreamy, otherworldly, smart, swoony, thoughtful, and hilarious. How many more great adjectives could you need to make you want to pick up a book? So One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. And if you haven't checked out her Red, White, and Royal Blue, we have that one here also, and you should. That one is about the first son of the first female president of the United States falling in love with the Prince of England, the heir to the throne. And there's just great comedy and repartee, a witty repartee, and a love story. It was just lovely. I enjoyed it so much. So if you haven't read that one, check that one out too. Okay, next book. Talking about fairy tales, we're going to do another take on one here called Men Are Frogs by Sarah Anna de Wilde. Sarah Anna de Wilde. It's called Men Are Frogs, Fairy Godmothers, Inc. Sometimes a kiss isn't just a kiss. So it says, ever after Missouri, which is the name of the town, adorable, is the unlikely source of the world's magic. But without love, magic's secret ingredient, the well is running dry. Resident fairy godmothers Petunia, Jonquil, and Bluebonnet, all named after flowers clearly, are on the job. Nudging couples toward romance might do the trick unless their fairy dust is on the fritz. So it says that disgraced wedding planner Zuri Davis is so relieved to be offered a job with Fairy Godmothers, Inc. She's willing to trade the high-rise excitement of Chicago for the small-town charm of Ever After, which is another thing we see in romance stories, right? Big city, small town. Falling for one of her grooms, even unintentionally, was enough to destroy her career, and also to prove that all men are indeed frogs. But when she meets gorgeous B&B owner Philip Charming, who definitely lives up to his name, she is tempted to test that theory. So this one is a modern take on a classic fairy tale of Cinderella, and actually not even just Cinderella, on the idea of kissing the prince and the frog and turning him into the prince. I am all turned around today. So I think this one just has a lot of levity and kind of fun. And if you're into some magical realism, I think that's what we've got here. And just some plain magic, it sounds like, which I enjoy. I also love the cover with the little frog and the hearts. These books, a lot of times you can pick out on the shelf by the way the covers are designed, which I love too. And a lot of them are coming in paperback, not in hardcover, which I know a number of you enjoy because they're a little lighter to hold and easier to carry around. So if you haven't yet checked out and you're looking for a little more actual fairy tale and magic, Men Are Frogs by Sarah Anna de Wilde. Okay, I've got one more book for you. Satisfaction Guaranteed by Corelia Stetz Waters. I don't think I have talked about this one yet, but Publishers Weekly called it an enchanting must-read. So the tagline is, one is all business and one is all pleasure. It's a novel, and it's for fans of Casey McQuiston, which is one of the books we just discussed. She wrote a few. Comes this bold, hilarious, and out-of-the-box novel about mixing business with battery-operated pleasure. When it comes to her career, Cade Elgin has it all figured out. Only professional talk has become her default mode. Relationships are non-existent and don't even mention the word orgasm. All work and no play makes Cade a dull human. But when she inherits a sex toy store, Cade is caught between business and a store filled with every imaginable kind of pleasure, including her infuriatingly irresponsible and deliciously sexy new co-owner. So this is a love story with obviously a modern twist. This one clearly has some more sex in it than some of the others. So if that's not your thing, this might not be for you. But I don't think it gets to the level that would off-put many people. I think it's fun and playful in the way that it discusses it. So if you're looking for something that's a little more modern, a little more risque, possibly, if you were a fan of bodice rippers, the old style with, Fabio on the cover with the long hair, if you love those, this might be right up your alley, but just in a new modern twist to it, which might open up a whole new world of reading for you. So if you haven't checked out Corelia Stetz Waters' Satisfaction Guaranteed, you might want to try and something new, right? All right, everybody. So that's the books I have for you this week on modern love and modern romance books. And if there's anything here that you liked, but you've already read and you want something different, just let me know and I will be happy to help you find another read. And I will be back in a few weeks with a new topic and some new books for you. So I hope to see you all soon. And I hope you're enjoying this lovely fall weather we're having. Okay, I will see you in a few weeks, everyone. Thank you.